Hey, it's Allie Edwards, and what I am doing today is I am getting ready for Day in the Life, which is coming up on Thursday, March 10th, our first community documenting day for 2022. Day in the Life is a project that I've been doing for a very long time now, and I've got a couple other videos on YouTube that are available where you can see some of the ways that I've approached this project in the past. This year I'm going to be doing the documenting in this really cute 4x6 album, and the album includes page protectors and a couple fun pages here that have some other, one of them has a sentiment, the other ones are flat, like die-cut flower pages, which are really fun. So what I am doing, and it also has a couple pockets there, what I'm going to do in this video today is just kind of establish what my story lens is going to be and think a little bit about, these do not come in a kit, by the way, these I just had in with the kit of stuff there, but I'm going to grab these here. I'm going to pull out the kit and I'm going to think a little bit about how do I want to document this year? Are there specific things that I want to use, or I know that I want to use in advance, or is there anything that I can do to set myself up for documenting success on this particular day is essentially what I'm going to do. So I'm pulling out the kit. A lot of times what I do when I'm getting ready for a project like this is I just grab the cards first, right? Kind of figure out, okay, which ones, what am I using for this particular one? Getting the cards maybe set up in the album, placing them where I will want them to be, and just kind of thinking a little bit about how do I want to approach storytelling this time. So sometimes when I'm doing Day in the Life, I don't do this. Like, I don't necessarily set anything up in advance. Sometimes I just have everything and I will document my day. You know, I'll have a lens established. I'll know like kind of what's the kind of stories that I want to tell today. And then I will do all of the like crafty part after. And so this time what I'm doing is just a little bit of an adjustment from that, but I'm just setting it up in advance. So like I'm going to add the date onto this 3x4 card. I'm going to use these for the first documenting day. I'm going to use these story cards. And I think what I'm going to do is just pretty much get them into the album itself. I will most likely, as you can see on these cards, they have hours. And so I'm pretty sure that what I'm going to do this time is stamp on here with the hours. So that's something that you could do in advance if you know that you want to start at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I think there's 12 of these. Let's count them. Or maybe there's less than that, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's 8 of them, so you can do 8 hours. Again, this is the first one I'm going to do. The second one I'll do later this year is a gratitude day. So when I was originally thinking about how I wanted to approach this project, I definitely wanted to do hours, but I also want to use these chipboard pieces on top of here, I think is what I want to do. Sometimes when I have chipboard pieces like this, I might want to add them onto the photo. So that would be the other option, right? So where, like, let's say this is going to be my, I'll have one card here that's the story, and then the card or the photo that will go next to it. So story's written up on there. What would go next to it then would be the photo, and then I could add this onto the photo, or I could simply add these along the bottom and then handwrite my story on top, which I think is what I'm going to do. And I think that I'm going to match these colors a little bit. And you could mix and match them if you wanted to, but I'm kind of just thinking about this as I go. So as you can tell, it's a little bit of making it up as I go along, right? Which is a lot of what we all do. Okay, so I think what I will do is I will get these set up, but in terms of just adding on these half circles on the bottom, and then I'll be able to stamp on them stamp the time on them when I actually do the documenting. And I think in this case, probably for this particular one, I'm just gonna handwrite, so I'll be doing that during the actual day. I've done it lots of different ways. So sometimes I will handwrite directly on, and other times I will type things up over the course of the day. Kind of just depends on what's happening on that particular day. So it may be that I will give myself like a piece of paper that has, you know, what am I loving, what am I eating, those kinds of things on it, using the ing words as the lens, or I might just have the cards out and available to me. So really it's going to depend on, you know, you thinking about your own particular approach for this time of storytelling and what makes sense to you. So that's essentially what that's going to look like in here. And it could be that I just use these ing words as the jumping off point. I mean, I could make it very prescriptive, or I could make it less prescriptive. So very prescriptive would be like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So you could do it in order. You know, you could start at a particular time and do it for 8 hours. You could pick 8 random hours over the course of the day. You could not worry about the time if you didn't want to, but I definitely, at least for this part, I think just setting it up in this way is making sense to me right now. All right, so after I got all those cards, the chipboards onto the cards, I went ahead and added them into the album itself, into those divided page protectors. I basically just varied the placement of them. My plan, again, is that I will pair these journal cards with 3x4 photos after the actual day happens. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just basically putting them in there as a holding place. They may end up staying in the exact same spots, and I'll just simply add my journaling, stamp a number for the time, and then add in a photo for each one of these. That may be completely how it ends up happening. I do like when I'm doing this, I think I did this last year too, when I'm using these divided page protectors, I like to vary them so that they're not all in exactly the same spot, the journal cards. I also took one of the chipboard stars there and added it onto the outside of the page protector for that first title 3x4 card. I went through, then I took out the rest of the page protectors that I had in there for right now. I end up adding those back in at a certain point here in the video, but I just took them out just so I could see where things were going to go. And then I went ahead and I just slipped the 4x6 cards into the 4x6 pockets there. I think that probably what I will do when I'm actually doing the documenting is that I will do full outside of the page protector photos that in between those journal cards. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. After I got those 4x6 cards in there, I went ahead and took one of these cute little envelopes here, and I put the products that I'm planning on using when I'm actually doing the documenting, or when I'm putting the rest of the project together. I put them into that envelope, and then I'm just leaving them in the album there. You can also use the envelope that the kit came in to store those things, obviously, as well. Next up here, I am going through and adding in the title card there, that Our Lives Are Made Up of Moments. Decided to use that for the first one. And then I'm also going to add in these die cut cardstock pages at a certain... I think I end up adding them right before the gratitude pages begin. So that will be during the second documenting day. I'll use those for that. Then I went ahead and used red line tape to adhere the story of today, that large wood veneer title. Decided to add that into the inside cover. You saw different points in time, I think, on this video where I was going back and forth between which one I wanted to do. I kind of thought about doing the gratitude one, and I thought about doing the around here one, but decided that the story of today would work great for this. And I really liked the long chipboard rectangle that said, stories are what makes sense of our lives, or making sense of life through stories is what it says. I had to look closer at the thing there. And then just flipping back through how I have it set up already. There you go. I'm adding in those die cut pages. They're going to figure out something to do with those. I just think that those are so cute. Added the chipboard pieces there into the pocket, the chipboard stars, so I can have those easily accessible. and my album is all ready to go. Let me know if you guys have questions in the comments below.